Coming up on this week's edition of Inside the Huddle with Saint Scholastica, we look back at homecoming weekend and a matchup with Northwestern. The head coach hits the field to give us a lesson in football. We profile one of the Saints' leaders and learn why the game of football is so important to him. Plus, get a preview of what lies ahead for the Saints football program. It's your inside look at the Saint Scholastica football program in Duluth, and it starts right now. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Inside the Huddle with Saint Scholastica Football, a 5-week seasonal series bringing you inside the Saints football program. I'm your host, Angie Avestris, coming to you from the Saint Scholastica campus. Fall has hit Duluth, and while it brings beautiful scenery, it also means important October football games. One of those important games was Saturday for homecoming when the Saints faced Northwestern. Former St. John standout Todd Fultz joined head coach Kurt Ramler to break down the game.
With Coach Ramler here at Saint Scholastica, a big homecoming win for you. Congratulations. How does this win feel for the program?
Well, I couldn't be more proud of the guys. They played with incredible effort. They believed. They played Saints football.
Going into the game, both undefeated. This is for the conference lead. What did you tell the kids coming off that tough road win last week to get them focused for tonight?
Well, they knew it was a big game. I knew they'd come through and play with great energy like they did. Just talking about how important it was to play our brand of football and to believe in each other, to know that as the game went on, the better we'd be. We just believed that was going to happen and to bring their best effort, and I got to say they did it.
You were down most of the game. Tyler Harper had a tough first part of the game. Somehow you got his head back on, you got him focused. What did you talk to him at halftime? What did you talk to him about at halftime to get focused for the second half?
Yeah, well, Harp did struggle a bit early. The things weren't clicking. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. It was a protection or a drop pass or a fumble. And you just got to make sure they know that if they keep at it and keep a great mindset, it's going to click eventually. And Tyler's electric. When he's on, it's unbelievable. And it took a little while to get there, but once he was on, it was just fun to watch. So I just kept telling him that I believed in him. I knew it was going to click. I knew it was going to come. We had to dial up a few different plays. And when we did and we got rolling, oh boy, it's fun to watch Mr. Harper when he's on.
Preston Robinson, the freshman from Northfield. Tough game. Came out, struggled a little bit early with a fumble, but got it back together and scored the late touchdown to win the game.
Yeah, and I tell the guys, it's don't expect everybody to play a perfect game. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to, obviously you hope for it, but mistakes are going to happen. It's more important that you respond the right way. And Preston did that today. Nobody wants to win more than Preston. He's put in a tough spot with Chris Gassert being hurt, and that, Preston wanted to step up and come through for the team. Fumbled there in the fourth quarter on a key play. Had his head down a bit, but I tell you what, Preston's a ball player. I knew he was going to come back, and he sure did.
Well, you played Saints football today, and Coach Penry gets a lot of credit. He had a tough way to come up with a stop right at the end of the game. Walk us through those last few seconds of the game.
Well, I know Coach Penry did a tremendous job. It's a tough offense. He made some incredible halftime adjustments, got us in the right place against their offense. And there on that last drive, I know we were in some safe coverages, but then we threw a wrinkle at him, and Xavier Rhodes came up with just an incredible homecoming play. Just about as good as it gets, man.
Saints win big here in Duluth on homecoming in front of a huge crowd and a great last-second victory. Congratulations, Coach Ramler. Good luck next week.
Thanks.
Back to you, Angie.
And up next, learn a little football fundamentals from the head coach. That's next on Inside the Huddle with Saint Scholastica. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by the College of Saint Scholastica's School of Health Sciences, providing real-world learning opportunities for tomorrow's healthcare professionals. The world needs more Saints. And by the College of Saint Scholastica's School of Education, preparing teachers to meet the changing needs of students in a technology-focused world. The world needs more Saints. Welcome back to Inside the Huddle with St. Scholastica. From beautiful Duluth, Minnesota, I'm your host, Angie Avestris. With 20 years of collegiate experience as both a player and coach, new Saints head coach Kurt Ramler has an impressive resume of football knowledge. Let's head out to the field with the coach to get a few pointers in the game of football.
I'm Kurt Ramler, the head coach of the St. Scholastica Saints, here to talk a little bit about taking the handoff. I'm fortunate enough to have the Stillwater 5th grade Ponies football team here with us. They're going to learn the basics of taking a handoff. The really important aspects of this is to raise, everybody raise with me, the near hand to the quarterback. You raise that arm nice and high, and then you keep your chest up high so you can take that hand off. Other hand goes low. Nice job, everybody. Nice job. Other hand goes low. As you take the hand off, it's key to keep your eyes up and roll through the handoff so you can see where the hole is. You don't know if the cut's going to be to the right or the left. So again, near arm up to the quarterback, other hand down, eyes forward, roll through the handoff. Let's try it. You guys ready? Yeah. Awesome. All right, first one's important. You got it, right? Mm-hmm. Set hut. Nice job, nice job. Make sure you keep those eyes up each time. Set hut. Well done. Beautiful, beautiful. Set hut. Nice job, nice job. These guys are well coached. Set hut. There you go, there you go. Set hut. Good hustle. Good hustle. Set hut. Set hut. You got old pros. Set hut. I'm guessing this team runs the ball a fair amount because they seem like they really know what they're doing. Set hut. Beautiful. Set hut. Nicely done. Nicely done. We got to make sure you keep the near arm up. Great job. Set hut. Beautiful. Eyes up. Eyes up. Set hut. Set hut. Set hut. Well done. These guys seem like they really know what they're doing. That's the key, we think, to taking a handoff. Eyes up to see the cut, and that's St. Scholastica football.
Coming up next, we spotlight one of the Saints' big contributors in 2014. That's next on Inside the Huddle with St. Scholastica. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by the College of St. Scholastica's School of Health Sciences, providing real-world learning opportunities for tomorrow's healthcare professionals. The world needs more Saints. And by the College of St. Scholastica's School of Education, preparing teachers to meet the changing needs of students in a technology-focused world. The world needs more Saints. It was homecoming week at St. Scholastica, with the soccer teams playing at home just like the football team. The CSS soccer teams faced their arch rivals at the University of Minnesota Morris on Saturday. The women's team hit the post a couple of times and had to settle for a scoreless tie, while the men extended their winning streak to 7 games with a 3-0 triumph. As part of homecoming weekend, the St. Scholastica Athletic Department inducted its 4th Hall of Fame class on Friday night. Over 170 people attended the ceremony that included a social hour and a dinner. This year's class included the first head coach and athletic director at the college, former men's hockey coach, the late Del Genuro, men's hockey player, Randy Norgard, cross-country runner, Jeannie Fleck, women's basketball's Jen Quayle, softball's Chris Lorenz, and men's soccer's Neil Runbeck. For all your St. Scholastica athletics information, be sure to check out csssaints.com. Welcome back to Inside the Huddle with St. Scholastica. I'm your host, Angie Avestris. Not only is each and every Saints player dedicated to the game, but every member of the team takes great pride in their academics. It's very important for all student athletes here at St. Scholastica, and this week we profile one of the many athletes thriving in the classroom.
Blake Searleaf, defensive end, Matamidi, Minnesota. Played defensive end because it's really just a hard-hitting position. It's a lot of fun. You basically have one guy to read, and it's you versus him the whole game, and it's a one-on-one the whole game, and dominating someone who lines up across from you every play and then shaking their hand at the end of the game is a good feeling after you've won the game. I'm 6'2", 250 pounds, and I put on about 20 pounds of muscle for this senior season to really make sure I could push the guys on the other side of the ball around and kind of force my will upon them and do the best thing and help the team. As a new player coming to St. Scholastica, I don't know if there's a better place you could come to. When I came here, I was a scared kid. I cried when my parents left, and camp was tough, but luckily we had a great upperclassmen class who they all were there to help me out. And then I just kind of stuck with my friends, and a lot of them are still on the team. I mean, we have like 17 seniors or so, and that speaks for itself that 17 kids will stay around for 4 years, even if some of them don't start, and they just love being on the team so much. And this is honestly the closest team I've ever been on. The best thing about playing here is there's never a dull moment. Like, even in the off season, we get together all the time, we lift as a team, and everyone's all hooping and hollering in the weight room, throwing some weight around, and then you come into the season, and then it's the same guys you worked all off season with, and there's just this brotherhood. And I know that's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but there's a brotherhood here that I don't feel I've seen anywhere else, and that's everyone is working to make each other better. No one's out for another player or anything. No one dislikes someone. They're all out here to make each other better, because in my years here, I've gotten so much advice from the upperclassmen when I was the underclassman, and they helped me through some tough times and all that stuff. And it's not even just football, it's life. There's a lot of they're teammates on the football field, but they're also good teammates in life. The biggest thrill for me, something about going out on Saturday with all your teammates. You've worked hard all week, you've worked hard all off season, and it all comes together on Saturday. And you walk out of that tunnel and there's nothing better. You know you're on the field at one point with 10 players who want the same goal as you do, and then it's just, when you achieve that at the end of the game, it's just a great moment. A moment that sticks out for me here at St. Scholastica during my playing. Last year we went down to Greenville for the final game of the season, and it was a really close game. And it came down, they were marching down the field, we were up 27-21, and it was a 4th and 1 on our 25-yard line. And they came out of formation where I knew what they were gonna do. We had watched it on film, and I knew what my assignment was. Coach got us in the right play, and I was able to make the tackle in the backfield for a loss of 1 to give our offense the ball. The biggest thing I've gained from playing here is learning to fight through adversity. You're not always gonna be in the lead. You're not always gonna have the best skills or anything. You just gotta be able to put your head down and work through it. I know when I first came here, all the high school seniors, I feel, when they come into freshman in college are, hey, I'm gonna start. Not so much. You come here, you put in the work, you're not gonna start, maybe you won't even get recognized, but eventually, if you work through all that adversity, you're gonna get somewhere. As a better person, better man. You're just gonna learn what it takes to get something done. And I think that'll help a lot working in the real world and whatnot. I grew up in Matamidi, Minnesota, which is kind of at least back then, it felt like when I was a kid, it was a big football area. Football was the sport in Matamidi, and we were good at it. So all my buddies, we'd go to all the games on Friday nights, and we wouldn't necessarily watch the game. We'd just go play catch or something while the game was going on. And then we got older, we'd start watching. And a big credit, I have to say, because there's a lot of kids from my senior class who went on to play college sports. And I think a big credit was we just were outside every day playing a sport. Didn't matter if it was tennis ball, baseball, football, soccer. We were all out there having fun, and we had a great senior season, and I think that contributed a lot to that. My biggest role model is kind of cliche. It's my dad. He's really just been there for me every step of my life, and he drove me to all my practices and all those things growing up. And then the other one, my oldest brother, is just really successful in all those things, and he puts forth the hard work. And he's always taught me to work hard and you'll get what you deserve. It was very cool to be recognized as a Capital One Academic All-American. It really showed how hard I worked over the past 3 years, and I couldn't have done it without the great coaches here at St. Scholastica and also the great teaching. After graduation here, I'm planning on going into a career as a physician's assistant, which is it's 2 years of graduate school after college. So I've been looking around the Twin Cities area. I know Some schools down there have some, and then there's another school in Chicago I've been looking at. And then I know Saint Scholastica here is starting up a master's program for physician's assistant, and I believe it's 2016. And I might come back here and because I like it so much and try that out.
Coming up next, get a preview of what lies ahead for the Saints football program. That's next on Inside the Huddle with Saint Scholastica. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by the College of Saint Scholastica's School of Health Sciences, providing real-world learning opportunities for tomorrow's healthcare professionals. The world needs more Saints. And by the College of Saint Scholastica's School of Education, preparing teachers to meet the changing needs of students in a technology-focused world. The world needs more Saints.
Hey, nice job! That's the way we finish. That's the way we rise. Doesn't matter if we were here, we believe in each other, we support each other, we get right back to here. Saints win. We found a way to win all season. It's what we do. Shout out to all you guys. Nice job. Incredible effort, gentlemen. Your effort, the way you finish this game is beautiful.
Welcome back to Inside the Huddle with Saint Scholastica. I'm your host, Angie Vestris. As Coach Ramler said earlier, each and every game takes on more and more significance as the season hits the second half point. One of those games is this weekend in Jacksonville, Illinois to face McMurray. It's a big matchup, and to look at what lies ahead, Todd Foltz joins Coach Ramler to preview the Saints' upcoming week.
Big homecoming win against Northwestern for Coach Ramler. You now sit at the middle part of the season, 5-0. What are you going to do to keep the team focused as you head into the second part of the season?
Well, our guys are pretty self-motivated. They know our goals are pretty ambitious. We plan to go undefeated. We plan to win the conference. That's our hope and expectation. So we know that each team's going to bring their A game against us. That's been proven each game this year. We know we have to match that. We got to play our best football and keep getting better each week.
Saints football, you've got a lot of players involved in being a big part of the offense, but what do you do differently now heading into the second part of the season offensively?
I think now we know what we're really good at. So we take those plays and we make sure we can run them against anybody no matter what they do. We take those plays, we get as good as we can possibly be at those, and then we look for what variations we're going to need down the road when teams adjust.
Senior leadership on defense is going to be a big part. Who do you see stepping up in the second half defensively for you and for Coach Penry for the Saints?
Well, I really see Paul Olson, Aaron Toady, and our other Blake Cedarleaf, our other senior defensive players. They've been incredible all year. There's a long list of senior leaders on our team. I can't possibly list how many great ones we have. It's part of our program, I think, is we've just got great leaders across the board, not just seniors, but also juniors and sophomores, and on occasion, a freshman. Our guys lead by example, do things right. It's the way we do things with the program. It's championship football.
Blake Cedarleaf, the All-American from last year, preseason All-American this year, Matamidi product here in Duluth for you. Talk a little bit about his game and what he brings to the table.
Well, he's just a physical hard worker that people know they have to account for. They know he's going to bring it every single play, come off the line hard, and be a physical presence that's very difficult to contain with one guy. So that gives offenses fits, and it really helps us shape the rest of our defense.
Special teams have played a big part of the season. What kind of rating do you give the special teams halfway through the season? Where do you see them?
Well, I'd probably give them a B+ at this point, maybe a B. Mike Theismann, our All-American kicker, has been incredible for us all year. He made some great kicks today. Our kickoff coverage has been exceptional. With the exception of one game, our punt team has been solid. We've housed a couple punt returns. Our kickoff return team has been close. We got to get one. But overall, we've been very solid, but we're not satisfied with being B+. That's not our program. We want to be as good as we can possibly be every chance we get.
Next week, another one of those classic road trips down to Illinois, McMurray. Talk a little bit about their program, how they're playing. We know they've got the big spread offense. How are you going to stop that spread offense next week on the road?
Yeah, it's going to be a real challenge for us. Coach Penry hopefully can dial up some great defenses like he did today. And hopefully our guys, our DBs, can force turnovers like they did again against Northwestern. We're looking forward to our guys getting after it. We've got to play with speed, play our defense.
You're a seasoned coach. You've got a lot of experience behind you, a lot of great coaching mentors. What do you do after a big win like this at homecoming and then go on a long road trip and play a team that this, in essence, is the biggest game for them on their schedule? What do you do coaching-wise to prepare the team for that game?
Well, it's nice that I think we have that instinct, we have that mentality. We know each game matters. It's not like we're pointing at one game on the schedule, just homecoming, or just this team. I think teams circle us as the big game on their schedule. We circle everybody. So all we're worried about right now is McMurray and how we can play our best game on Saturday.
Big win for the Saints, beating Northwestern at homecoming, traveling to Illinois next week to face McMurray. Coach, we wish you the best.
Thank you.
Back to you, Angie.
That will do it for this week's edition of Inside the Huddle with Saints Scholastica, your weekly look inside Saints football. To follow the football program and all Saints sports, visit csssaints.com. For Todd Foltz and Coach Ramler, I'm Angie Avestris. Thanks for joining us on Inside the Huddle with Saints Scholastica.